Perfect. And you can tell the meat is just as tender as can be. Just falls apart. This is what you want to see when you cook this stuff in a gravy. Just nice and tender. All right, what's up, everybody? Creole here. We're not fishing today. We're in the kitchen. Decided I want to cook something good for the family on a Sunday afternoon. Decided on a pork gravy served over rice. That's what's happening today, so y'all follow along. Like every other meal I cook over here, at least it tends to be that way. Start off with our big cast iron pot. I got my mixture of a big yellow onion, 2 small bell peppers, and about 3 sticks of celery. I've got that cooking down with just a little film of oil, just from sticking. And I use this particular all-purpose seasoning. I like this one. And we're just cooking that down, getting all the crunch out of it. And then we'll add some more ingredients as we go. A little trick I picked up on, beer is not just for the cook, it's for the food as well. You get to this point where your onions and bell peppers are starting to kind of stick to the bottom of your pot a little bit. You can add water, nothing wrong with that, but anything that's acidic, which anything that has alcohol in it is acidic, wine, beer, whatever, you pour a little bit of this in the bottom as you're frying down your onions or whatever. I think in culinary school they call that deglazing. But it makes sure that all that stuff doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. It pulls it off the bottom of the pot. So whenever I brown my stuff, ooh, that's what I use.
I smell it.
Mm-hmm. That's just a little trick that I picked up a long time ago, and I've just done it ever since. And
Great, having a great time.
we're almost there. We're almost there. Everything's getting pretty soft. Just waiting for the, actually waiting for the celery actually to kind of soften up before we move on to the next step.
Pull some out on the spoon. Let's get a peek at what we're looking at.
Right there. So everything's just nice and soft and mushy. That's what you want. But you want to use as little liquid as possible. That way you're actually like frying it, we call it, in the bottom of the pot and not boiling it in a bunch of liquid, you know?
Yeah. I just pull it to the side. Fucking not. See, there's basically no liquid there.
Nope.
The steam is just coming off of the vegetables themselves.
And that's what a well-seasoned black pot will get you too. See, nice, non-stick surface. All this is pork stew meat. That's all this is. I've got 2 packs that look just like this. Just cut up piece of pork. That's all. Nothing fancy at all. Don't want that. You definitely do not want that. Throw that in, get my other one. Now the smoked sausage, we're gonna add that much later. Because it's basically already cooked. It don't need to be browned like the meat does. But basically you wanna cook this meat till you can eat it. You wanna cook it that far before we start the process of actually making a gravy with it.
Yep.
That's the one big trick to how to make these gravies. Brown your meat until it's good to eat.
And say you can do meat, then veggies, or
right, yeah. What some people do is they'll throw the meat in first, cook it till it's done, take the meat out, then put the vegetables in there.
That's what I do.
And go around in there. I like doing it all together. Always have. Not saying either way is right or wrong or better or worse. It's a preference thing. Now, again, since I added something, we're gonna season. Okay, that ought to about do it. Like I said, I don't measure anything. We're just kind of going for it here.
Generous coating.
Yeah, there you go. Generous coating.
Also adding smells.
Adding a lot of smells. Inside the house is gonna be smelling so good. There's probably a couple of these pieces are a little big that I could have cut. But you know what?
They'll shrink.
We're gonna go, oh yeah, they'll shrink. They'll cook, don't worry. Once it stews in that pot for a while making that gravy, it'll be all right. And once that, and basically all I'm doing is I just keep frying this stuff in the bottom of the pot. Right when it starts to stick, might add a little bit of my beer just to break it up and just keep letting it cook down. All right, now we can see all of our liquid is really starting to come out. And we're really starting to get some work going on browning this meat down. But what you're looking at right here, that's the base right here. That's the base for our gravy right there. You can already see all them good looking juices down in here.
Where'd the juice come from?
Juice comes from all kinds of places. Juice comes from the moisture that's in your vegetables. It comes from all the moisture and everything inside the meat. All of that is combining, and it's just putting some very wonderful smells in the house right now. I really wish y'all could smell this. I do. I really wish y'all could. Somebody needs to invent that.
Maybe we can hear it.
Mmm.
Camera fog. Look, we're foggy. You're in a dream.
You're in a dream. About that, well, it's a quart for now. I'll probably need more. I don't know yet. But this is what you want it to look like when you're done browning everything. I mean, basically all the veggies are just a mush, a delightful mush now. And the meat is to the point where if I wanted to, I could eat it. Like, it's brown enough you could eat it. So, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna add water till it just covers the meat, which I think my quart jar might be enough. Yeah, look, there you go.
Why do we need water?
Well, because that's what's going to make our gravy. To add water to give something for the gravy. Now, this is the point where I'm going to also add my smoked sausage in here to make it part of the gravy. It's already cooked. I didn't need to brown it. So I'm going to go ahead and add it now.
And all those flavors will now go into that water.
Yes.
To make it taste the gravy.
Mm-hmm. And look, already, look, it hadn't even cooked down yet. And look how thick it is already. So we know we're on the right track. And basically we're gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna cover it. Then we're gonna simmer this on low heat for probably anywhere from an hour or two. Just the more you simmer it, the more it tenders the meat and
It will
gravy
simmer
is.
until we're ready to get back up off the chair.
Yes, that's right. It's gonna simmer until I feel like it. Now, you'll notice this time I added my water, but I did not add seasoning. I put smoked sausage in that has its own seasoning. I don't want to overdo it. So when the gravy gets close to being done, I'm gonna taste it and see what I need to add. Like I said, it's very easy to add seasoning, very hard to take it away if you put too much. So we'll bring it to a boil, cover it, and we'll show you all the results when we're done. Now time for the final product. So what we did, we got us some rice cooked in our little rice cooker here. So we will come here and grab us a little bit of that. This is just regular white long grain rice with a little bit of salt in the water. Say a little bit, we're gonna grab a whole lot of rice.
A little bit of rice.
A little bit of rice. That's what we call a little bit.
It's a small plate.
Right. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and take me. This is just honestly some Bush's baked beans that I put a little bit of that smoked sausage in. So that'll go good with everything. Get a little bit of that before we open up that black pot. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. Okay, it's still bubbling, but there, right there, is our pork and sausage in a gravy. Turn the fire off now.
It's just been simmering for maybe an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, maybe almost 2 hours, something like that. But that's what you want it to look like when it's done.
Say how to manage your water level.
And all I did is about every 30 minutes, I would come check on it. When the water would drop below the level of the meat, I'd add a little bit, and I would just keep it on low heat. Just keep it rolling. So the first thing we're gonna test and see how nice and thick that gravy is to go over that rice. That's what you want to see. And like I like to do, I like to rake the bottom of the pot. That way you get all them onions and bell peppers and celery, and you get all that in your gravy. And just grab you some chunks of the meat. Get a little bit of sausage while we're there. And there you go, guys. There it is. Cajun style pork rice and gravy. I guess perfect. Alright. Got our rice all mixed up. We're gonna have us a little taste, see what we got. Put our blow on a little bit, it's kinda hot. But it's gonna be good. Oh my God. Perfect. And you can tell the meat is just as tender as can be. Just falls apart. This is what you want to see when you cook this stuff in a gravy. Just nice and tender. Hot. But I hope y'all enjoyed. We are definitely going to enjoy this real quick. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it. Any suggestions, anything y'all want to see us cook, let us know in the comments. We'll cook it up for y'all. We'll film it. Until then, bon manger, everybody.